He claims Chelsy leaked private info to the tabloids. Harry testifies that one of his early girlfriends was paid off by tabloids, media and public quickly identify Chelsy, leading her to sue for libel and reputational damage. Prince Harry returned to London for privacy trial. Prince Harry was back in London on Monday, sitting in the UK's highest court to take part in the third and final of his outstanding legal battles against Britain's tabloid newspapers. If you found this report insightful, take a moment to reflect on how celebrity culture shapes health trends and why responsible conversation matters. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for more in-depth coverage that goes beyond the headlines and keeps you informed as these stories continue to unfold. Share this video, leave your thoughts in the comments section. The British royal saga has taken yet another dramatic turn, and this time the shockwaves are coming from a name many believed had long exited the story. Chelsy Davy, Prince Harry's former girlfriend and one of the most private figures ever linked to the royal family, is now being dragged back into the spotlight after explosive remarks allegedly made by Prince Harry during his UK privacy trial. Remarks that, according to sources familiar with the matter, have now escalated into a Supreme Court-level legal confrontation that could redefine the boundaries of responsibility, privacy, and accountability in royal legal battles. At the center of this unfolding controversy is a claim attributed to Prince Harry during testimony linked to his ongoing legal war against the British tabloid press. In the course of arguing that the media routinely invaded his personal life through unlawful means, Harry reportedly suggested that private information about his past relationship with Chelsy Davy may have been leaked from within his own inner circle. The implication, whether intentional or not, landed squarely on Chelsy herself, triggering immediate backlash from her legal team. Chelsy Davy, who has spent more than a decade deliberately distancing herself from royal life, has always been vocal about her desire for privacy. Since leaving the UK and building a successful legal and entrepreneurial career in Africa, she has largely avoided public commentary on Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, or the royal family at large. Friends of Davy say this silence was not accidental but a conscious effort to move forward without reigniting old narratives. That is precisely why these alleged comments, made in open court, struck such a nerve. According to legal analysts following the case, Prince Harry's comments were part of a broader argument designed to show how his personal relationships were exploited by tabloids through illegal methods. However, by suggesting that leaks may have originated from individuals close to him, Harry inadvertently shifted the spotlight away from media misconduct and onto private individuals who were never defendants in the case. For Chelsy Davy, that implication carries serious reputational and professional consequences. Sources close to Davy's camp indicate that she was blindsided by the remarks. Within days, her legal representatives reportedly filed motions challenging the statements, arguing that Harry's claims were speculative, unsupported by evidence, and deeply damaging. When attempts to resolve the matter privately failed, the dispute escalated rapidly, ultimately landing before the Supreme Court due to its constitutional implications around defamation, courtroom privilege, and the rights of third parties named indirectly in legal proceedings. The legal issue at stake goes far beyond a personal dispute between former partners. At question is whether a claimant in a high-profile case can make allegations, even indirectly, about private individuals without offering substantiation, and whether those individuals have legal recourse when such statements are broadcast globally. Legal experts say this case could set a powerful precedent, particularly in an era where courtroom testimony is instantly amplified by international media. Chelsy Davy's lawyers are reportedly arguing that Harry's status as a public figure does not grant him immunity to implicate private citizens in alleged wrongdoing, especially when those citizens have no opportunity to defend themselves within the original trial. They contend that the remarks effectively painted Davy as a source of leaks, undermining her long-standing reputation for discretion and potentially impacting her business and legal career. On the other side, Prince Harry's legal team is said to be standing by the context of his testimony, emphasizing that his remarks were aimed at demonstrating the toxic media environment he endured, not at accusing any individual of malicious intent. Insiders suggest they will argue that courtroom testimony, particularly in cases involving media intrusion, often requires discussion of personal relationships and that no explicit accusation was made. Still, the damage may already be done. Headlines linking Chelsy Davy's name to alleged leaks have circulated widely, reigniting public curiosity about a relationship that ended more than a decade ago. For many observers, the situation feels deeply ironic. Prince Harry has long positioned himself as a champion of privacy and mental health, yet his words in court have now drawn one of the most private figures in his life back into unwanted scrutiny. Royal commentators note that this episode underscores a recurring tension in Harry's legal crusade. While his mission is to expose tabloid misconduct, each new revelation tends to entangle more people from his past, often against their will. Former friends, ex-girlfriends, and even family members have found themselves referenced in legal filings and testimony, raising questions about where the line should be drawn. Chelsy Davy's supporters argue that her reaction is not about money or revenge but about principle. They point out that she has never sold stories, never written a tell-all, and never publicly criticized Prince Harry or the royal family, even when doing so could have been financially lucrative. From that perspective, being portrayed, even indirectly, as a potential source of leaks cuts directly against the values she has consistently demonstrated. The Supreme Court's involvement signals that this is not a minor procedural dispute. Judges are expected to examine whether protections typically afforded to courtroom speech should apply when statements have foreseeable and severe consequences for non-participants. The outcome could influence how future high-profile cases are conducted, particularly those involving celebrities whose personal histories intersect with private individuals. Public reaction has been sharply divided. Some Harry supporters argue that he is being unfairly attacked for speaking honestly about his experiences, insisting that the real villains remain the tabloids he is fighting. Others believe the situation highlights a troubling lack of accountability, suggesting that Harry's war with the media has become so expansive that it now risks harming innocent bystanders. Meanwhile, Chelsy Davy remains silent publicly, allowing her legal filings to speak on her behalf. Friends describe her as determined but deeply frustrated, having worked for years to build a life defined by independence rather than royal association. For her, this case is not about relitigating a past romance but about protecting a future she fought hard to create.